Imagine if suddenly all the nitrogen disappeared from our atmosphere for the rest of the existence. What will happen with all the living creatures? Even worse, what will happen with cities? But most important, what will happen to us? This is What If, and here you have what would happen if the Earth lost all of its nitrogen in its atmosphere. While I talk, you are breathing in and out a mixture of different gases, being nitrogen the most abundant one and composing a 78% of the Earth's atmosphere. Even though many people think it's not as relevant as oxygen, nitrogen is just as important to keep the planet alive and working. At the beginning, if nitrogen was to disappear from the Earth, we would not have trouble with our body functions which use it, like digestion and growth, because we, humans, get nitrogen from the food we eat. Now, the rest of our life would be a lot harder. Firstly, oxygen will take up all the space left by nitrogen. Even though a 99% oxygen atmosphere sounds nice, it's not something any of us should be looking forward to. This extra oxygen will not allow you to evolve, like Captain America in his movie. On the contrary, it would be extremely damaging for the health of all the animals. Our chests that are not prepared to filter this kind of air would hurt, and we would start producing free radicals. These are unstable atoms which can damage cells all over your body, producing illnesses like cancer. Plants would keep their normal feeding systems. Therefore, the extra oxygen would allow forests to grow faster. But not all plants would start sprouting. For example, the ones which depend from atmospheric nitrogen to grow would automatically stop growing. The most benefit ones in this story would be insects. They would get bigger, like in the first ages of our planet, when they were enormous, and when the atmosphere was 40% oxygen. Every single part of their body would increase, including their breathing systems. If you were able to survive this catastrophe, there are more bad news for you. Normally, fire needs oxygen to propagate, but in this new atmosphere, there's no nitrogen controlling the amount of oxygen. So as a result, all fires would dissipate uncontrollably through the planet, burning everything they find. Finally, the Earth would suffer a huge regression, as the water habitats would be the only ones unchanged. The huge amount of fire would rise global temperatures, melting the poles and rising sea level. The Earth would look very similar to what it looked like 600 million years ago. Knowing this is fun, as likely it will never happen, but what will happen if the air had different proportion of its gases? What if argon was the most abundant one? All that and more is a question for another What If.